Hello, it's me, Mrs. Cordslane, and I'm recording our lesson from today for anyone who is at home and wasn't able to see it in person. And so today we're starting to learn about our digital identity. And another word for digital identity is digital footprint. So you might have learned about that before. And what that digital footprint or digital identity is everything about you online. So it's things that you post, things that you comment, things that you search, things that other people post about you. And it's basically who you are online. At this point, as an 11 or 12-year-old, there might not be a lot of things online about you, but that will only grow as you continue to use the internet. So our digital identity is evolving and growing all the time, even as an adult. And so anytime something is being posted either by you or someone else about you, that's adding to that identity. And that identity, our digital identity, can affect our offline future. So what I mean is things that we do online can affect our jobs, can affect our relationships, can affect our scholarships or getting into college. It can affect playing sports. And so we want to make sure that we protect that digital identity. So if you haven't already, make sure that you watch the video that is also in here that is called What is Your Digital Footprint? And in that video, it shows 5 pictures. And you might have noticed, or when you do watch it, look for those pictures and you're going to see a lighthouse, which means that your digital identity, your digital footprint can be searched by anybody. You're going to see a copy machine, which means that it can be copied by a screenshot or other ways, can be screen recorded by somebody else. You're going to see 2 people whispering. And that means it can be shared quietly without you knowing that somebody could share that with someone else without you knowing. You're going to see a stadium, which means that your digital footprint, your digital identity could be broadcast out on social media or in the news or in a Facebook group without really your permission. And now tons and tons of people can see it. So we want to be careful about that. And the last picture that's in the video is a Sharpie, a permanent marker. And that's that most things cannot be removed from the internet. Even if you click delete, that doesn't mean that somebody else hasn't already taken a screenshot of it. It doesn't mean that the app didn't keep a copy of it, because apps like Snapchat will keep copies on their servers of different pictures and videos and stuff. And so we want to be careful about anything that we're doing on the internet regarding posts, searches, comments, shares, all those things. We really want to be careful about that because that's who we are online. And so I'm going to go through some of the strategies to protect your digital identity. So the first one is one that we have talked about, and that is to protect your private information. We spent quite a bit of time learning what is private information, what is public, and we want to make sure that we're not sharing anything that is private. We also learned about creating strong passwords and not sharing those out to people like other than like our parents. And so those things aren't really new for us. We are already working on doing those things. Something that might be a little bit new for you is to think before you post. And this is mostly for social media. It could also be like think before you post, like a comment on a class, like a Google Classroom post or something like that. I asked a couple of my classes today, you know, who has social media, and there really aren't a lot of 6th graders that have it or were willing to say it in class today. But as you get older, that's going to be more likely that you're going to use social media. And social media itself is not bad, but there are things that people can do on it that are less positive, right? That are kind of negative ways to use it. We also can get addicted to it just because social media is designed to be bottomless. It's designed to, like, you never reach the end of it. There's always more and more content and more things you can look at. So it's very easy to get sucked into it. But thinking about what we're going to post, once it's out there, it is very difficult to remove it, if you can remove it at all. Remember the Sharpie. And so if you wouldn't want a parent, grandparent, sibling, friend, teacher, job, or college to see something, don't post it. Okay. Sometimes we call it the grandma rule. If we wouldn't want grandma to see it, then we shouldn't put it out there. And so a couple things I've seen about this is, like, one saying is face your problems before you Facebook. And another one is count to 10 before you click send. So really trying to think, is this helping or hurting? Like, is this something I really want out there? Because I probably can't get it back. Okay. When we're talking about pictures, so we want to protect any of our pictures that we're posting. Anything that you post publicly is fair game for someone to find in a search. It's fair game for them to copy it. If you're worried about who will see your pictures, you should set your privacy settings to private. I would say, as a young person with social media, you should probably only have private accounts. And again, that's going to be a discussion that you have with your family when you use social media. The official age is 13, which is based on a law that says that companies can't collect data and market to children under the age of 13. And so most social medias will put that age on there because they want to be following the law. But there are some families that have, decided to use it earlier, maybe to have it monitored, to only friend people you know. And again, that's a family decision. And so when you have those pictures out there, you really want to be careful. Another thing we talk about is keeping our pictures PG, so maybe avoiding having pictures that might be in our pajamas or swimsuits or that kind of stuff that we wouldn't want other people to take or to see. Okay, so be careful with those pictures. Another strategy is to Google yourself. So this might sound silly, but if others are going to do it, you should do it too. So if you apply for a job, they might Google you. If you apply for a scholarship, they might Google you. If you're going to go out on a date, your date might Google you. And so it's good for you to see what's out there. And as an 11 or 12-year-old, you might not have a lot out there yet. And so sometimes, people will search their parents, because what your parents post about you is also part of your digital footprint. But you kind of just want to try to search every few months. And again, the more that you are using the internet, the more likely things are going to come up when you Google yourself. The last strategy is to cut back on social media. So like we said earlier, not a lot of 6th graders are on social media. But as you get older, you're going to be more likely to be on it. And you want to make sure that you're not posting everything on social media. Like, I went to Starbucks, I went to the gym, now I'm at school, now I'm at the mall. And when you're doing that, one, it's kind of annoying. And two, it's unsafe because you're telling somebody else a pattern of where you're going. You're probably going to do those same things again another time, or if they're following you in real time, they know where you're at right now. So try to keep your privacy settings again to private, and really only friend the people you know in person. Just keep that safety net out there. And again, don't put everything on social media. I know for me, I try to post no more than once, like on my Facebook, just because I feel like people probably get sick of seeing things of me. So I'll just pick like the one thing I really want to share that day or every couple days, and not like 80 pictures at once or something. So really just think about what is the main message that you want to share, and kind of leave the other things out. So the reason that we want to protect our digital identity is, again, our digital identity or online identity can affect our offline future. So it can affect college admission, scholarships to pay for college, relationships with our family, with our friends, with, you know, people that we think are cute. Any of those could be affected by things that are online about you. If you want to join the military, play sports, especially at the college level, they do check the social media. Jobs, putting too much out there could cause us, or too much private information could cause us to be an identity or a victim of identity theft. And then the last one is running for office. So if you run for any kind of political campaign, people will search you and they'll look for, dirt that they can dig up on you based on the things that you have online. So you really want to be careful about that. Okay? So our assignment that we want to do is based on this, and you're going to make, this is your at-home day assignment. So if you're watching this video now for your in-class day, then this is your at-home day assignment, is the digital identity handprint poster. And so you're going to get a set of handprints like this, and what you need to do is make a digital identity poster. So you're going to imagine yourself in 20 years, okay? So in the year 2040, what are 3 things that you hope you would find about yourself? So if you were to Google yourself in the future, what are 3 things that you hope you would find about yourself that relate to these futures? So maybe you're a veterinarian in Minneapolis. Maybe you're married with 4 kids. Maybe you had a scholarship, a basketball scholarship to a university, that kind of stuff. So good things that you would hope you'd want to find. The harder part is that you also need to identify 3 things that you wouldn't want to find about yourself. And I think that's really hard because a lot of times we ask little kids, what do you want to be when you grow up? And we don't really say, what do you not want to be when you grow up? And so these things could be like, maybe one example could be like, I, posted a comment about my boss and I got fired. That'd be really, really bad, right? That would be one of the things we wouldn't want to find. Maybe I lost a scholarship because of something I posted. Maybe I posted too much and I was a victim of identity theft. Something like that. I know it's not fun to think about the negative, but it is something that we have to consider, that there are choices that we make online that can affect our future offline. You're going to use text and images to make a poster that represents your potential digital identity. Okay, it's kind of like, two-faced kind of way. Okay. Here's an example of what that could look like. So here's one that I made. This is not at all based on my real life, except I am married with 2 kids. But that would be one that would fit that relationship. I had a scholarship for soccer. That's not true. But that is something that you could put under the scholarships or under the sports. And then I put, I'm a doctor in New York City, and added the New York City skyline and a doctor lady. And so a doctor lady is just a doctor. Let's just be real. Okay. And then I would put my negative stuff on this side. Now, here's some of the tools that I used. I used the text box. If you click on the text box and then you click here, you can type in your text and then rotate it later to fit the fingers. You really don't need it to fit the fingers. It's up to you. I also used adding a picture. I'd search the web and then put a picture in of whatever I wanted to make sure you have a picture for each one of your statements. And if you want to do a background that is a shape, you make a large rectangle, and then you can change the color. And the big thing is that you want to send it to the back. So you would say order, send to back, and then that would end up behind all of your other stuff. So it's actually behind my other background. Want to see it? Whoop, there it is. Okay, so that is your at-home assignment. Let me know if you have any questions. Thank you.